War. War never changes. In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather, serving in the army, wondered when he'd get to go home to his wife and the son he'd never seen. He got his wish when the US ended World War II by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The world awaited Armageddon. Instead, something miraculous happened. We began to use atomic energy not as a weapon, but as a nearly limitless source of power. People had enjoyed luxuries once thought the realm of science fiction: domestic robots, fusion-powered cars, portable computers. But then, in the 21st century, people awoke from the American dream. Years of consumption led to shortages of every major resource. The entire world unraveled. Peace became a distant memory. It is now the year 2077. We stand on the brink of total war. And I am afraid. For myself, for my wife, for my infant son. Because if my time in the army taught me one thing, it's that war never changes.
I'm Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose different. I chose the impossible. I chose Rapture. The city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, Rapture can become your city as well.
The assassin has overcome my final defense, and now he comes to murder me. In the end, what separates a man from a slave? Money? Power? No. A man chooses, and a slave obeys. You think you have memories. A farm. A family. An airplane. A crash. And then this place. Was there really a family? Did that airplane crash? Or was it hijacked? Forced down. Forced down by something less than a man, something bred to sleepwalk through life until they are activated by a simple phrase, spoken by their kindly master. Was a man sent to kill, or a slave? A man chooses. A slave obeys. Come in. You're crying in the rain, Pally. Time to cash out. Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face, but I ain't a fink. You dig? You made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling, it must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start. Come in. I apologize for the austerity. I sent the help home. Chances are you shot them on your way in. Now, before we begin, to whom am I speaking? The son who returned to scatter his mother's ashes, or the lunatic who has murdered his way to the top of my mountain? If I was speaking to the first guy, then I would say, sit down, let's be civilized, enjoy some food. But we tried that before, didn't we? At our first meeting, you sat right here. Paul was off applying voltage to the nipples of your rude little +1. I stood just like this. And what were my exact words? Ah, stay here, enjoy the crab rangoon. Don't move. I'll be right back. Now, if you had just listened, just waited for me, then we would have come back here straight away together and scattered your mother's ashes. So then you must be the second guy who didn't listen and decided instead to join the other monkeys and start throwing his poop around. But I'll tell you what, I call a do over. Hmm? I say you have two choices. One, you could shoot me, boring, or you could sit down, enjoy some food, and you and I will go scatter your mother's ashes together. Want to hear insane? Nathan Drake raced a madman and his entire army to the steppes of Shambhala. Nathan Drake found a lost city in the middle of the Rubal Khali Desert. Nathan Drake discovered the fabled El Dorado. Nathan Drake is a legend. I shot the man who told me that. What do you bet? Thomas 2? Henry Avery. Looks like our host didn't stick around to clean up their mess. Okay, so these guys sparked a full-scale revolt when they claimed the treasure for themselves. Now, they took care of the colonists, but then they had to deal with each other. And I'm guessing things got pretty messy. So Avery and to invite them up here to, what was it? Abandon the animosities. Avery makes a grand toast for God and liberty. Arg, ahoy, mateys, all that. And they all take a swig. Except these two. And just like that, all the treasure of Libertalia becomes the sole possession of two men. These are some of history's greatest pirates, and they all perished in an instant at this very table. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.